Hello guys, my name is NaToSaphiX, and this time it is, well, it's a bit of kind of like wondering about whether or not CSGO is perfect as it is, and obviously no game is perfect, but I've been thinking about what makes a good spectator sport. Which changes I would like to see in CS, like gameplay changes that I feel are crucial right now, and yeah, the lot, you know, but let's get into it. So first of all, I asked myself the question, what makes a good spectator sport? Now in my opinion, it's the fact that you can be successful with different playstyles, as this keeps the game fresh and makes every player unique. After AD movement was nerfed, so was Scream. It's never been the same, and has dropped many levels. When the tagging update arrived, this only got worse. The fact that connecting sprays now also traps your opponent means spraying is overpowered compared to tap firing, something that a player like Scream is known to be the best at. Currently, a player with immense spray control will win the most 1 vs 1 duels against a player who has immense tap firing abilities at decent ranges. It is quite rare that you face off rifle versus rifle at long ranges on a standard map, so tap firing is only really usable versus enemy AWPers at this current point in time. Personally, I think this makes the game one-dimensional. Why do the developers spend so much time on balancing the weapons when the game mechanics are not? Tap firing and spraying should both be viable. Currently, mastering tap firing seems like a waste, as this requires great movement as well, but the movement is restricted by the tag-in from your opponent's spray, meaning that the tools necessary to win this fight are taken away from the tap firing player as soon as the first shot of the spray connects. To me, tap firing is more exciting to watch than spraying, but currently there is no reason to tap fire, which is a shame. I also don't see the point in nerfing a specific playstyle so much that it, through the constantly changing meta, almost is removed. Now let's not only make this about Scream. Before, we had a pretty clear line between passive AWPers and aggressive AWPers. Both playstyles were viable, and both playstyles were exciting to watch. When the scope movement speed update came in, this effectively nerfed aggressive AWP plays, especially on T-side. This has slowed down the game for a T-side AWPer so much that a lot of AWP players have decided to drop the gun on this side. The mechanics for peeking multiple angles close to each other is poorly structured currently, as you have to scope in and out for every new peek to get a decent opportunity at landing an entry. Since this change, professional play has been dominated more and more by rifle players, or even rifle AWP hybrids like Olofmeister and Simple. Some of the world's best AWPers, JW and Kenny S, used to dominate not only maps but entire best of 3s with their amazing skill set. Since the movement change, I feel it's rare that AWPers are managing to top the leaderboards. Is this because they need more time to adjust, now almost 4 months after the change? Why would you use the team's funds on buying a weapon almost twice the price of a powerful AK-47 when the weapon in T-side pro play probably is worth less than an AK-47? Currently, I feel the AWP is fairly balanced for CT side, but on T side it's currently not balanced right. First, I will provide a few reasons as to why I feel the AWP makes for boring gameplay to watch and why it should be fixed, or at least buffed in some area. Okay, so I wanted to make this video right when the scoped AWP movement update came out because I felt it was really bad. A lot of people covered it and I decided not to. I feel like people have stopped talking about it and I don't understand why, because I still feel it is broken even though people have learned to accept it. Now, T-side AWPing currently, I would say at least, in professional play or high tier matches where if you meet a rifle you're pretty much dead, you know, instantly. Same with an AWP, because people are so highly skilled that this is how it goes. Now, if you want to play AWP you need to pretty much hold a passive angle, or as Skadoodle did earlier. I'm watching the Face It, whatever it's called, Stage 2, I think it's called, where he would run across mid, see a guy, come out and peek again, and then maybe win the duel. Now this means that Skadoodle, who was the AWPer in this sense, needs to find information on the CT player and then take the duel. He can't just outright take the duel, because there are too many angles to cover, and if he is scoped, as you can tell in the left hand corner, he will only have 100 movement speed, and this is way too slow. A rifler doesn't need this. A rifler can clear multiple angles at the same time. Now, why I think this makes for bad gameplay and a bad spectator sport is simply because if you want to clear this angle as an AWPer, this angle, let's say this angle as well, this angle, like these are kind of the standard ones on Dust 2, right? So if you want to clear them, if you run out with an op, and if you run out with an op, you've got 200 velocity. If you scope, it's 100. If you are walking around with an op and holding down shift, it's 104. That makes the movement scoped lower than what it is when you shift walk, which is really, really weird. Now, if I want to clear all of these angles with a rifle, let's give us an AK-47 real quick, for example. What I'll do is, I'll come up, I'll shoot there, I'll come up, check here, check this angle, this angle, here, and like clear all these angles. You can do it really quick. You know, you probably won't be shooting, but you get the idea. Now, if I want to do the same thing with an op, T side especially, because CT side, you know, you can choose to play passive, you can choose to play aggressive. I mean, the scope movement update made retaking with an op as a CT much harder, since the movement speed is so much lower when scoped. But if you want to clear all these same angles with an op, if you want ultimate speed, which obviously you do, you want the best chances in a 1 versus 1 duo, you need to come running out like this and scope and sit down, because that instantly slows you. Do it again, but you have to scope out at all of these angles, because if you don't scope out, well, you're going to be peeking the angles like this, and you're just not quick enough. So this means that every single fucking angle you need to check it like this. This takes way too long, and this enables the rifling player, or op for that matter, standing here to like have so many opportunities to kill you, because you have to use more than double the amount of time a rifle needs to clear these same angles. Now, this is why T-side op in entry fragging is very hard at the minute. And while you can peek like this, it is still a huge disadvantage compared to a rifle entry fragger. In 1.6, it was not only possible to quickscope with 100% accuracy, it was also possible to peek like this. And while I couldn't find any conclusive data, I would assume that the running scoped movement speed with the op in 1.6 was also higher. In Counter-Strike Source, the velocity for the op while running was 210, and in scope it was 150, and the 150 matches the CSGO's velocity before the update. And yeah, this trick also worked in Source, but I would say that it worked even better. Thinking about the topic of fixing the T-side op, I remembered something I saw a while back, which doesn't exactly fix the T-side op, but fixes the problem. Sound files for a sniper called TAC21 were located in the game files a while back, and looking back on it, this might be exactly what we need. As I've already stated, the op seems pretty balanced for CT side, as aggressive players can still go for peaks but has more chance of getting caught, also partly due to the tagging update. A T-side sniper needs more movement speed, and if the TAC21 could be a T-side only sniper with quicker movement speed, but with the one-shot capabilities of the op, this might be the way to even out the inconsistencies in the current rifle versus sniper meta. As far as making tap firing viable again, it might be worth it to make random spray patterns, as I do believe it was in 1.6. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Currently, the spray patterns are easy to memorize, thus making spraying overpowered compared to other playstyles. I am of the belief that the more viable playstyles, the better. This ultimately makes for more interesting gameplay, both for the spectator and also for the player. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, guys. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you haven't. My name is NaToSaphiX, and I'll see you in the next video. And also, if you're watching this from Reddit, you're more than welcome to upvote this, as this might direct the developers of CSGO to take these changes into consideration. And developers, if you are watching this, remember, a new sniper rifle means more skins, and possibly also music kits. Thanks for watching.